Hey everyone, so tonight I've kind of just got my very basic calligraphy supplies out, and I was going to answer a few questions I've been getting both online but especially in my in-person classes. And I just wanted to start really basic, so I am going to start here and answer the question of what exactly is calligraphy? And I have been doing calligraphy for about 4 years now. So I have learned a lot in that time. Calligraphy is actually defined as the art of beautiful letters. It's derived from the Greek origin kalos, which means beautiful. And there's a lot of different types of calligraphy. The types that I teach mostly are really modern type calligraphy. And the types of calligraphy that I enjoy most are really the brush calligraphy and the pointed pen calligraphy, where you'll really notice the thick and the thin line. I always start out my workshops by teaching my students that cursive does not equal calligraphy. So cursive is really meant to just run your hand across the page, get it done as fast as you can, something easy to add a nice script, to add your signature. And calligraphy is really meant to be slowed down to create those beautiful letters. So you can create calligraphy with a pencil. The one that I used on the first page was this Pentel sign pen. It's one of my favorites, the ones that I started out with. Pentel sign. And you just want to make sure that it is a flexible nib. That's how you're going to get thin and thick lines. That's what's going to make your letters so appealing. Here's another type of brush marker, Tombow. They're really popular. This one particularly is called the Tombow dual marker, one that I include in my calligraphy kits if I'm teaching. It's got this bullet tip, so if I was using it, I would create this type of calligraphy, which would be considered monoline, because the weight doesn't change, just like a pencil, whoops, just like a pencil or a ballpoint pen. You're not going to get thin or thick. But on the opposite side of this Tombow, you have a brush pen, and that is going to be flexible so that you can get thick and thin. And this brush pen imitates just a regular old paintbrush. You'd want to make sure it is a round tip paintbrush. So I am just going to get a little bit of color and show you that you can do thick and thin with a paintbrush. And then lastly, a more traditional oblique holder where you are using a metal nib, and the nib, this is so hard to show in my classes, so this is what I really want to show up close. The nib actually spreads apart so that when you add pressure, more ink comes out. When you release the pressure, less ink. So that's how you get thick and thin lines with that. So these can be used, whoops. There we go. So I had that on my finger to show you the tine spreading apart, and then when I dipped it in the ink, it wasn't coming off of the nib because the oils from my finger had gone on there. So I'm trying this again. I will show you how the tines are actually going to make those thin and thick. There we go. And that is one reason why I recommend starting learning calligraphy with a pencil or a brush pen, because it's a lot easier to manage than figuring out how to add ink to and making your nib work. And I'm just cleaning off my nib. So the type of calligraphy that I'll be referring to in a lot of these videos coming up is brush calligraphy or pointed pen calligraphy. And then we'll also be doing things that require monoline. So whether it's a pencil or just a bullet point pen, or just a ballpoint pen where the nib doesn't flex. I am going to show you actually in my next video how you can use just regular old pencil or ballpoint pen to create faux-like calligraphy. So head on over to that next video and I will show you how to do that.